Okay, guys, what's up? What's up? Okay, why am I all dressed up? You will know in just 1 second because I am gonna break down UFC 251. The details have been released for Yas Island. That's right, Fight Island, aka Fight Island, and it's just off the coast of Abu Dhabi. And I will talk about it a little bit more in detail. And the stellar UFC 251 main card is spectacular. It is so stacked. Thank you, Unwrap Sports. Shout out to my sports family. Thank you so much for joining. I'm gonna move to a great place with the best connection. But yes, UFC 251 is gonna be lit. That's the only the only word besides stacked that I can probably describe the main card as. And I have a special guest. I brought him back because he was a crowd favorite. That's right. I have AnpanWai MMA, my friend Jonathan on, and we are gonna break this card down. I'm waiting for him. Love you too, Unrest Sports. There you are. Okay, as by request. Okay, Jonathan wants me to do this, so we're gonna do it, and hopefully I don't screw it up. Okay, because you're gonna get mad at me. All right, Javarian Smith, what's going on? Great quarterback from Michigan, the Hawk MMA. Thought that was you for a second, Jonathan, but I believe you have another account. So let me see if I can do it right. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna screw it up. So basically, like I said, if anyone does not know what this stream is about, it's about UFC 251. The main card is ridiculous, so we gotta talk about it. We gotta talk about the what's it called, the details released for Fight Island. That's right, it's taking place at Yas Island in Abu Dhabi, and there's a lot of fight dates going on. So I will be talking about that with my special guest. So just waiting for the request to join thing, I believe. And then, hopefully, I get this right because my special guest really wants this to happen this way. I was like, okay, any minute now, dude. Any minute to join my live. Let's see. So if anyone has not heard of any of the details, you're in for a real treat, especially if you're an MMA fan. Oh, man, are you going to love this day. Okay, let me try to do it. Okay, let's see. Go live. I do it right. Entrance song. Oh my god, are you serious? Okay, sorry. I don't know if I timed that right or something, but I tried to do it. Oh, did I? Okay, did I? Okay, that's good. Alright. Okay. Did you change? We did not agree to this outfit, okay? Beforehand. What the hell?
You don't get to decide.
Yeah, no, well, I kind of do because it's my stream. Anyways, guys. You guys don't know who my special guest is. I had him on a few days ago to talk about a grappling tournament that happened from Flow Grappling, and we're probably gonna do one. We're gonna do one this Friday, so please stay tuned for that. That's Jonathan right here, and he's wearing something that I did not approve of, but that's okay. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But okay. So thank you for coming back. The name of this stream is, well, besides UFC 251 Fight Island, it's called The Return of AnpanWai, and that's the both of us. That's our names combined. So that's the reason why we're like this. So I told you to wear a different sweater. However, because I was going for the whole, Fight Island, if I were to go and walk on the beach kind of thing on Fight Island, I'd probably look like this. I'd probably look like this going into Fight Island UFC 251. So I'm excited. I remember when you woke up, you saw the main card for UFC 251, and we were just going off, and I'm like, you know what? We gotta do a stream about this because anybody who's even remotely a casual or amateur is going to love this main card. If anybody does not know where this event is taking place, it's going to be on Yas Island, Abu Dhabi, aka Fight Island. That's what Dana White said on First Takes on ESPN MMA. And it's going to be on July 11th. But not just that, guys. You have the 15th, the 18th, and the 25th to look forward to on Fight Island. So, I don't know. I can't wait. I'm excited. Thank you guys for joining Hawk MMA, the Jam Kid, Joanna. Thank you for joining. Javarian Smith, great quarterback from Michigan. And, of course, my family, Unwrap Sports. Thank you so much. So, all right. We're going to introduce some of the fights first that are on the main card. So, guys, if you don't know this card, you better look it up right now because there are 3 championship bouts. That's right. So we're going to talk about the first one, and then we'll just kind of introduce them as we go because too excited to just name all of them. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the welterweight bout champion Kamaru Usman is going to face the current winner against Tyron Woodley, Gilbert Burns. Now, I remember when both of us found out it was going to be Gilbert Burns, I was ecstatic. I'm like, yes, he deserves this more than, no offense, Masvidal. We're not going to get into it. So what do you think about the fight? Who do you think is going to win? Is it going to be close? Do you think that it's going to be dominant, one-sided? So, I don't know. Give me your predictions.
So I am pretty biased just because, Burns is a jiu-jitsu guy.
Right,
And
right.
so when it comes to the grappling, I feel like I know Burns more for, as a grappler. I've seen more of his grappling events
Right,
than I have
right.
his fights. So I know what an amazing grappler he is. So I feel like if Usman tries to wrestle him the way he did to Woodley, he's gonna get submitted. And if he tries to stand up with him, when you think about it, their past similar opponents was
Yeah,
Maya. So Burns knocked out Maya, which
yeah.
what's his face Usman failed to do, and Burns was also able to knock down Woodley, which Usman was not able to. So
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to the standing on the feet, I feel like I'm leaning also towards Burns. So I don't see any way that Usman is gonna win, but I'm also
Okay.
pretty biased just because he's a jiu-jitsu guy.
Right. I mean, you have some valid points, even though you were biased, but you actually brought up some points, especially when it comes to on the feet. The
Mm-hmm.
only thing that I have, because I love the both of them for different reasons, like Gilbert Burns, obviously blew us away in his last performance against Tyron T. Woodley, the chosen one. He just looks better every single fight now. We're just like, what the hell happened? It reminded me of the resurrection of Jorge Masvidal, the Cuban Jesus. After that Till fight, everyone's
Mm-hmm.
like, what in the world just happened? And then he just kind of imploded. Now, obviously, I think Burns is the better fighter when we talk about both Masvidal and Usman. I think because he's a little bit more well-rounded. However, I will say that Kamaru Usman did trade with Kobe Covington, so that was obviously really impressive. As much
Yeah,
as we're not going to talk about the personal side and our biases, but Kobe Covington is a really good striker, and so a lot of
amazing.
people a lot of people underestimated him a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Especially Kamaru Usman during that fight. So I mean, it'd be interesting if Usman tries to wrestle him. I don't think it's the best idea. Maybe I don't know. It's the Burns looks really good right now. He's on fire. So of course, I'm leaning towards Burns, but I'm not going to underestimate. If Usman wins, I'm not going to be surprised whatsoever. So that, my friends, was the welterweight championship bout happening, and I believe that's the headline for UFC 251 happening July 11th. That's right, Fight Island has been announced, guys. Yas Island, look it up. It's in Abu Dhabi. And so this whole main card we are talking about right now, because the first fight is already amazing already. We're already excited. And we're happy that Gilbert Burns got the slot, not Jorge Masvidal. Now, obviously, there's a little bit of drama that's happening between Dana White and Masvidal when it comes to fighter pay, but we will address that a little bit later. So, next fight. I can't believe these two fights are going to be on the same main card. It just doesn't.
I know.
That baffles. That main card and that main event, that should be the main event, and then these other fights that we're going to talk about, they are main events for other fight nights or for pay-per-views. So next one
What's
is
up,
the
crazy ass
rematch.
ant?
Hello. As well. Hey, April. D, that's my girl from UK. What's up? What's up? All right. She's probably. You should be asleep right now, girl. It's what, 3 a.m. in the UK. So okay, next fight, because we do have a list of topics to talk about. The rematch, the featherweight championship bout rematch. Former champion Max Holloway. That's kind of strange to say for me, but
Yeah,
he is the former featherweight champion, and he is facing against the current one, Alex Volkanovski. What's up, April? Let's see. Moron 1987. Thanks for joining. And so, okay. All right. So I'm going to start because I still, for some reason, am in denial that Alex Volkanovski
I
is the
know.
champion. I mean, of course, he didn't defend yet because of everything that's been happening and
Mm-hmm.
injuries wise. And D says literally just got off of me. And I'm like, girl, get some sleep. But I appreciate you supporting me. So, okay, seriously, I still think that Max Holloway is my featherweight champion because he has been for a long time, and every single time I've watched the Toronto card, he's defended or won an interim belt there. So, obviously, he means a lot to me. He's obviously a really well-rounded fighter. Volkanovski, that last fight, I'm just that was just perfect. Like whatever he did, that
Yeah.
game plan was ridiculously perfect, and it was just like he picked apart Holloway with those kicks too. Okay, great compliment by one of your friends. But anyways, I think that Holloway could win the rematch. I think it's going to be different because a lot of time has passed. Ever since they both fought. So,
Mhm.
what do you think? Do you think that Volkanovski still has what it takes to pick apart Holloway? Do you think Holloway is going to retain his title back? What do you think is going to happen?
I think that first of all, Crazy Ass Ant's comment is super accurate. I can't deny that. But so one of the things that Volkanovski said was that he really studied Max's style a lot, and it really showed because almost everything he wanted to do, like he just completely intercepted it. And it's like he was reading his mind. So it's going to be whether or not Max can adjust to Volkanovski, and I can't wait to find out. But I really have no idea who's going to win.
Okay, so you're like 50-50 probably
Yeah,
because okay, so that I think that because usually I see Max adjusting really well
yeah,
to anybody's style, but
mm,
like Volkanovski, and I think I predicted this like a while back when they were going to face off. Volkanovski, like he was just on it, like from the beginning, leg kicks, just took advantage of pretty much everything, and not letting Max Holloway do his thing. And I think that's the reason why he got troubled and he didn't win that match. And I was very heartbroken right after. April says make a choice. I
okay.
know it's really hard, right?
Well,
So it's really tough to make that choice right now.
if I have to pick, my bias side is gonna root for Max. I think he's gonna
Right.
prove why he became the champion and why he was champion for so long, and that
Right.
he's gonna be able to adjust and come back.
Yeah, I
But
mean,
then
like,
again, I'm biased.
right. Well, I'm biased too, but at the same time, I feel like, okay, so obviously this is not a jinx or anything. Usually everybody loses, okay, at least once. Every fighter
Mm.
usually loses at least once. Obviously, the fighter I'm talking about is going to be later mentioned, the undefeated one, but I'm not going to jinx that right now. So, because if we talk about this, I'm gonna cry. So next fight is again a championship belt, 3 championship belts in one main card.
I know.
It feels
Yeah,
like International Fight Week or something. Like it feels like everything is
yeah,
getting stacked to the max. I mean, I understand because you're gonna welcome Fight Island or christen it with one of the best main cards or best fight cards in UFC history, which this could actually be when you just think about those 2 fights already in that main
definitely.
card, right? So okay, next fight, which is I know like for you this is like it hits close to your heart because this is for the bantamweight title, which is vacant because Henry Cejudo just announced his retirement not too long ago. So who we have facing is former featherweight champion Jose Aldo versus the bantamweight contender Peter Yan. Now, I will let you talk about it first because I know that bantamweight is the style and the weight class that you fight at usually. So what do you think about this fight?
Well, I haven't had a fight, just to make
Yeah, not
that
yet.
clear.
Yeah, not
But
yet.
that's where I would when I start. And so well, Aldo really surprised me when he moved down. Originally, like I thought that his performance was going to be really bad just because of the weight cut, but he really just proved me wrong when he beat or when he lost to Moraes, even though a lot of people say he should have won. But I I still think Peter Yan is gonna be able to come in healthier and with a better game plan and beat him.
Yeah, healthier is like probably my number one point. If anyone has not seen Jose Aldo right before his fight against Moraes, then please look at the pictures. And I warn you, they're a little bit cringy, right? So, okay, Peter Yan, I mean, he's just every single fight to me, he looks really good. He's really, aggressive at the same time. He's well rounded, which is probably my favorite thing about fighters that are really good or that are my favorite. So, I think that well, okay, so I don't take away from Moraes. Okay, like it's not saying that he's a bad fighter or anything. That's the reason why Aldo had that split decision loss to him. I actually expected more from Aldo, honestly, because I
Wow.
just you seen like him over the years, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's been a roller coaster. Obviously, he's been through that high of being champion, and like people thought that no one could touch him. Then lo and behold, Conor McGregor. Lo and behold, Max Holloway. Those kind of fighters. Now we kind of know what the new generation is in a way, but I think Peter Young is he's gonna take it. No offense to Aldo, and like for me, like I said, the reason why I asked you to start first, not only because that's usually the weight class that you're going to fight in when you have a
My
fight,
favorite weight class,
and your
favorite
favorite weight
division.
class. There you go. Okay, all of the above. all of the above, but at the same time, I'm like really angry at the fact that Jose Aldo has that, title shot after a loss,
Hmm.
after his first fight, which became a loss,
Yeah.
which was a split decision loss, you know, and obviously they're doing this all for the show of it. I understand Jose Aldo's a huge draw, he's a
Hmm.
former, featherweight champion, or like everybody knows him. He's very decorated, so I mean, it should be Sterling, but I don't want to get into it because like, I already got into it today about it. I was really upset about it. But things are not like things don't usually happen the way we want it to happen. But at least hopefully it's a good fight. That's all I ask now because I can't expect much from the UFC after that. All right, thank you guys for joining. Thank you. So do you. Look at all the compliments. I feel really loved. Both of us were both getting compliments in this stream. All right, so the last fight in the main card that we're going to talk about was actually a championship fight the first time around. We're talking about Rose Namajunas versus Jessica Andrade, part dos. Okay? So, oh my gosh, I love the both of them. I know you know that I'm a huge Rose fan since like way before Tough as well.
Hmm.
So I think that she's like, I don't know, because when she started, she kind of went on a roller coaster, and then for some reason she started peaking. It was the same kind of like resurrection as like Jorge Masvidal, same
Yeah.
thing as Gilbert Burns, and like I feel like she was in that, she was winning that fight the first time around against Andrade,
Hmm.
and Andrade, being the little tank that she is, decided to slam her, and it freaking worked. Like, and so I don't know. I don't think that Andrade can do the same again, kind of thing, because she was
Hmm.
losing that fight, you know. And so, what do you think about this fight? Because honestly, I think that Rose is just getting. She's like, this is her prime right now. She's gonna be the best Rose Namajunas version of her that I know of. So, what do you think is gonna happen in this fight?
Well, like you said, she was winning in the first fight until she got knocked out by the slam. So I think it's really just going to be a small adjustment for her to win that fight again, or to start winning the fight again. And yeah, I see her coming with the victory.
Okay, so like I think we agreed on
Yeah.
all the fights in the main card, which we did not talk about really before this. So okay, so not only did we share picks, but somebody that we both love, and he's my favorite fighter of all time, is the lightweight champion, the undefeated. That's why I said knock on wood. Not where's the wood? Okay, there you go. Khabib, he has his picks too. He's watching from motherland Russia. And also, guys, if you just joined the stream, we're talking about UFC 251. Fight Island has been released in terms of the details. It's going to be July 11th, which is this card, the one that we're talking about, the pay per view. And then we also have bouts on the 15th, 18th, and 25th of July. And that, if you guys want to know where it is, it's Yas Island. If you can go there, I don't think you can sit in the stadium or whatever, but at least you'll know where it is. Yas Island in Abu Dhabi. One of my friends actually called that out. I was like, wow, that's pretty impressive. Anyways, back to our topic. So we were talking about my favorite fighter, who is Khabib. He actually made predictions on 3 fights, all the championship bouts in the main card. So I'm gonna read them out loud, and we'll see. I think he agreed with us. He said that Usman is gonna win against Gilbert Burns. No, we didn't. No, never mind. He
No.
did not agree with us. He did not
Hmm.
agree with us. Shame on you, because no, I'm kidding. And then Peter Yan is gonna win against Aldo, which we predicted, and Max Holloway is gonna pull the slight upset against Alex Volkanovski. So, to me, I mean, like she has to choose wrestling, right? Like, because wrestling is like his foundation. It's literally the,
Him and
the,
Usman
the
are
thing that
also
made
under the
it.
same management, though, right?
They probably are. I
Yeah,
don't know. You probably
I'm
know that better than I
pretty sure
do.
they're both under Ali,
Ali,
right?
okay,
Yeah.
that would make total sense. Well, I mean, like that, and then like obviously, like both of them are hardcore wrestlers,
Yeah.
so
That's it.
like I understand like
Hmm.
loyalty and all that. So Khabib, I can't wait for you to smash someone, and we will talk about that in just a little bit. I want to leave it like closer to the end for some reason, because
Okay.
like this is how I feel about Khabib. So all right, next topic, which is this is not going to be part of Fight Island. It is the trilogy that we've all been waiting for. it could be Daniel Cormier's last fight. I'm talking about Cormier versus Stipe Miocic, part 3. I can't like for some reason I can't believe we're doing this fight. It feels like we waited like 2 years or something for it. It's a heavyweight bout for the championship. Stipe Miocic has it right now. He's defended it. So it's going to be on August 15th, guys. If you are a big heavyweight fan. No, April, if you're still watching, I know you're a heavyweight fan, so you're probably going to look forward to that. And it's a little bit bittersweet because it could be Cormier's last fight. You know, I'm not the biggest fan of him personally, but he is obviously one of the best, you know, especially in those higher divisions. He's proven that. And basically, I don't know what's going to happen, actually, because I thought I knew going into that second fight. Now I don't know anymore. So, what do you think about Cormier versus Miocic 3? You know, who's going to take the title, maybe for the last time?
I really think Cormier is going to get it back. Because when you look at the rematch, I think he won the first round pretty dominantly up until when Stipe made the adjustment and went for the body shot. So I think it's going to be another one of those just slight adjustment situations. But I mean, I could be wrong because Stipe is also a champion for a reason. He's able to adjust as well. So, but I think I'm choosing Cormier.
Yeah, Stipe, like for me, because like he's defended that belt like longer than most or every heavyweight. So that's obviously really impressive. If anyone does not know why I'm saying that, it's because if you don't watch MMA super closely, heavyweights don't usually keep their belts for too long. It's been a while since that happened, and Stipe Miocic has really improved this game. You know, my favorite fight of his, which is kind of like in a way boring because it was against Francis Ngannou, because everybody was just kind of like saying, no, he's gonna lose. Because Francis Ngannou with all that knockout power.
Yeah.
You know, Francis Ngannou looking really good right now, by the way, in heavyweight. Yeah. But I think Cormier. I think Cormier's gonna take it. Even though I am a huge Stipe fan, I met him. He's super nice. But just, you know, biases aside, I think that Cormier is going to take it. And that would be nice, you know, if that is going to be his last fight, to end it on a high note. You know, so I was surprised. Like, you remember they were discussing, like, are we going to do Cormier versus, like, John Jones #3? I was like, no, man, don't do that. Like, you know, especially for his last fight, please don't do that, you know. Their styles are so different. You know, obviously the first fight was really exciting for me, but I think that this is what he wants as well. And I think he could beat him. I definitely think he could beat him. So, all right. Okay. Oh my gosh, who should I talk about next? Because I have
Crazy
two.
ass that Khabib is booty.
He sure is. He's my favorite. He is like, okay, you know what? Khabib, like, obviously I'm going to knock on wood. I don't really know who can actually really beat him. Now, I guess we're going to talk about it then because the crazy Yasan like brought it up. So, okay, fine. We'll talk about it. So, Jonathan brought this up to my attention to add to the stream. We're talking about UFC 253, which is my favorite fighter, Khabib versus Justin Gaethje for that lightweight championship. Imagine that's going to happen September 19th, and most likely it's going to happen on Fight Island, most likely. So, I don't want to talk about it. You don't want to let you talk about it. This is too like scary. I'm already getting anxious thinking about it. Legit. There's no joke. I am not going to sleep on Justin Gaethje, especially what happened against Tony Ferguson, which both of us cried during that night. I know that for sure. Pretty sure we talked after that too. So sad. Anyways. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to let you talk about that first because I'm not ready. I'm not ready to talk about it. Okay, so who do you think is going to win? You know, do you think it's going to be close? Do you think that it's going to be one-sided? Do you think it's going to, you know, maybe there's going to be something that one fighter's going to do that's going to really set them apart and win this fight and for the title? So, give me your thoughts.
My guy at 155 was Tony Ferguson. He still is, forever will be. I really thought that he was just going to run through everybody. But before he fought Justin, like I knew that a lot of people were sleeping on Justin, like when they shouldn't have. Because as much as I like Tony, like I said before they fought, Justin really has the potential to knock out Khabib, Tony, and Conor. Like he really has that ability, and he beat Tony, which really surprised me. And one thing that him and his coach were saying on the Joe Rogan podcast was that Khabib always, the only way he gets takedowns are if his opponent is against the cage. He almost never really goes for takedowns when his opponent's in the center, which is like like he never goes for the standard double leg or the standard single leg.
Right.
Whenever he goes for singles, he grabs the leg, pushes you against the cage, and then drags you down from there. And Justin Gaethje said that, you know, he's obviously not going to let himself be put in that situation, and he has the wrestling credibility to be able to scramble out of situations when they're in the center. So it's going to be really interesting because Gaethje obviously has better hands than Khabib, and he can obviously knock him out if he stays standing. You know, he would have knocked out Tony eventually if the fight would have kept going on. So I'm really interested to see that, but at the end of the day, I think Khabib is going to take it. I think he's just going to provide too much pressure and just wear him out.
Okay, so good answer, because obviously we're going to talk after this, and I'd be really mad if you picked Takeshi. But honestly, you made some valuable points. And by the way, if you guys haven't seen UFC 249, the main event was, like we said, lightweight bout. Tony Ferguson versus Justin Gaethje for the interim lightweight championship. And Gaethje did not just beat Tony. Like, he demolished him. He picked him apart. It was like, it was so painful, but
so hard to watch.
Right, but because of that, we just know how good Justin Gaethje really was. Now, obviously, I think I talked about this on a stream right after that pay-per-view, where I thought that, you know, I just felt like, you know, Tony, for not only just a year, not only for 6 months, for like 4 or 5 years, had this weight on his shoulder. Because, you know, obviously I know he really wanted, and he deserved to fight Khabib, but, you know, things happen, injuries, you know, whatever it is, mishaps. So I don't know if that fight's ever gonna happen, you know, in first part, but I have to believe that Khabib is gonna win this fight. And overall, I think he's the better fighter. You're right. Standing up, hands, Gaethje has him like beat. Khabib is pretty tough, though. I've seen him get knocked down, you know, I think by Dustin Poirier as well. I know that it's not the same knockout power because, you know, Justin Gaethje has the best knockout power in that division, hands down. And the fact that Gaethje's coach, I believe one of my past guests from this stream, Harry, alluded to the fact that that coach is freaking brilliant. You know, he's the coach to Rose Namajunas. He's the coach to all, pretty much, like, he has the best game plans, and all his fighters are thriving right now. So shout outs to Justin Gaethje's coach. So that was a really smart observation. I'm kind of sad. Like, I was kind of sad that the coach actually made that observation. So if anybody is looking to really train with a good coach, there you go, Colorado. Please make your way there. Justin Gaethje, Rose Namajunas. They're both, you know, victorious right now for the most part, and I don't know, Gaethje looks really good right now, but I have to believe that Khabib is the better fighter, even on the ground. Like, even because, like, for me, Justin Gaethje has the credibility. People don't really talk about it enough, his wrestling background. But at the same time, you know, you're facing against the best wrestler. It could be the best wrestler in all of the UFC, but definitely in that division, right?
Yeah.
You know, this man did not, at 9 years old, wrestle a bear for nothing. So, you know, obviously, shout outs and prayers goes out to his dad, who I knew had some health problems just a little while ago, not too long ago, with COVID. So because of that, I think Khabib has more motivation than ever, you know, to really, like, he was not going to take a step back. He even said to Dana, no, I'm ready in September. Let's do it, right? Fight Island, whatever you. And I think that shows that, like, he obviously, this means more to him than just the belt. And he is the better fighter, in my opinion. So I'm really nervous for this one. I would like shit my pants or something. But watching it, it's gonna be too scary because, like I said, anybody who does not know Justin Gaethje, please don't sleep on him. His hands are dangerous. He'll sleep you. Okay, that's exactly what's gonna happen. So UFC 253 is gonna happen on September 19th. Okay, 2020. I really want to see the fight, even though I don't want like Khabib to face Gaethje, but I do want to see the fight. So I hope nothing happens to compromise it. Because when's the last time we've seen Khabib fight? Like, actually. Now I think about
it was
it.
Poirier, right?
That's so long
Yeah, it
ago.
was so long ago.
You know, because he was supposed to face Tony, right? And
Yeah.
then COVID happened. Oh, right. All right. So what are the comments? Jonathan doesn't answer my calls. That's rude. Okay. Why don't you answer
First of
his
all,
calls?
I do, and he hangs up immediately, and then I call him back, and he doesn't answer my call back, so he's a liar.
Okay. All right. Angel Group, thanks for joining. Darling, Yakyo 002. I don't know what that acronym stands for. So you could have to describe it to me. SSJB. Okay, to you too. I don't know what that acronym actually stands for. So okay. So
With the
speaking of,
SSJB?
yeah,
Oh,
what that
that's
mean?
like Super Saiyan,
Oh, I
like
like that.
Dragon Ball Z. Yeah,
Okay.
because my hair
I
says
like that.
that.
Oh, I see. Like right now. Oh yeah, because there is the episodes where they have the blue hair too. Anyways, sidetrack. We digress, and we go back to our regularly scheduled programming. Okay, so this is one of the last topics that we're going to talk about in the stream. Speaking of Gaethje, speaking of Justin Gaethje, basically you alluded to this as well. So Conor McGregor is in the news for different reasons. He just announced his retirement for the third time or something, and then he declined the chance. Right? Is it to replace Gaethje? If I'm not mistaken. Okay, crazy. Yeah, so look at that. You have a really big fan base. Anyways, so
It's true. It's true.
mm-hmm. I see
Yeah,
it.
you do that.
I see it. Anyways, we digress again. Did Conor McGregor actually decline his chance to replace Justin Gaethje, or to
I
actually
wouldn't be
like,
surprised.
yeah?
Doesn't surprise me at all.
There's a lot of fighters right now that are ducking. Sorry, I'm gonna make it harsh, but that's the truth. Conor McGregor, you're definitely ducking Khabib, or you're definitely ducking whoever, okay, is gonna win that fight. You know, Jorge Masvidal, you definitely ducked. Kamaru Usman, you know, obviously, I was a fan of him too, right? So, but I didn't. I kind of like saw through it. His
Hmm.
fans right now are kind of just, you know, saying like, no, he's not ducking. Like they should be paid more, but that's a separate issue, right? At
Yeah,
the end of the day, like, there's an opportunity for you to take the belt. I guess maybe he just cares about the money more, right?
yeah.
Maybe that's clearly that's what it looks like
And he was saying that he
right
came
now.
back for the love of the sport, not the money, apparently. But that obviously wasn't true.
What do you mean came back? Like he was already like you said, a lot of his wins were like you know, decision based wins when it comes to at least Jorge Masvidal.
What are you talking
So
about, Connor?
no, I'm talking about Masvidal. Then we'll talk
Oh, I
about
was talking
Connor.
about Connor.
Yeah, but then like if you're like really doing this for the love of the sport, then that makes no sense for you
You're
to
right.
retire
Yeah,
the third time. The third time, guys, not the first time.
yeah.
Third time. What's up, Tank? Man, guys, this man can do a lot of different positions for the offensive line. We have center, left tackle, fullback. Can't believe I still remember that. So shout outs to you, Tank. You know, definitely a team like the Seattle Seahawks. You know, plug that in. Definitely I need your help. So thank you for supporting me always. And if you guys haven't checked that out, you can ask me for clips from our interview. Not much, Tank, not much. We're just talking about UFC, Fight Island. You know, too many fights right now are in my head. My head's spinning, honestly, because of just everything that we're talking about now. Carson, cuz now my whole family is watching. Thank you for joining, guys. If you're in the Vancouver area on the west coast of Canada, please check out Carson Tattoos. Really good tattoos. Especially if you want to do like the dragon ones, the back. Like he's really good at doing that. So shout out to him. His brother's probably gonna join in just a little bit. But no, it's funny because like my cousin, so like Carson's brother John, he's a huge Khabib fan, right? So he probably would love if we were talking about it. I mean, okay, Khabib, man. Do you think that Gaethje is the person out of everybody in that division to beat Khabib? Now, I'm not gonna answer that because that's way too hard. Because like, there's definitely a great chance for him
Hmm.
to give Khabib maybe his first and only loss. We're hoping not.
Yeah.
We're hoping not. I think the whole universe, the whole what I don't even know what it's called, the Khabib fandom. They're just gonna, you know, everybody's just gonna be depressed after that. But you know, if Gaethje wins, like let's just say like if Gaethje wins, I'm not gonna be totally surprised. because he's obviously proven
Wow.
himself to one of the best, to an elite fighter like Tony Ferguson. And I believe Tony was one of the only few that Gaethje has faced in terms of, for me, are considered really good fighters in that division. Maybe I'm a little harsh, but you know,
You
Tony
are.
Ferguson, I I know well, okay, I love that division so much. So like, I guess maybe I'm more critical because there's a lot of great fighters in lightweight. I think lightweight and bantamweight, those like divisions for me are so jam packed, full of competition. So like, pretty much you can name maybe 5 to 8, lightweights and 5 to 8 bantamweights that could be champions right now, including past champions, as we were talking about. So I did want to ask you, did I ever ask you this question? I don't know why I haven't asked you this. We talk like every single day. Which one was the best knockout? Was it Cody's knockout or Sean O'Malley's knockout? You're gonna be
I'm
biased, aren't
pretty
you?
sure I
You're
did
gonna be
answer that. And I'm
you're
not
gonna be
even being
biased.
biased. It was definitely Cody's. It was, first of all,
I was like, all
Cody's
right.
was against higher competition. So Sean's was cleaner, but Cody's looked like he killed the Sun Sao. Like, even when the Sun Sao woke up, he was on the stool falling over. That was like really scary to
Yeah,
watch.
I
So
will. I will say that he definitely put everything he had in that
yeah,
punch, right? And the impact was like, I even like, I was watching it with you, or I was replaying it or whatever, right? And it was still a really good knockout. I don't know, maybe just like looking back at it, maybe I care more about technique, more, Sean O'Malley shot very,
mm,
very clean. They both kind of like exchanged words. I know Cody did, like, in the post fight interview, and Sean O'Malley did on Twitter as well. He said that like
yeah.
his punch or his knockout looked like what you'd see at a bar or a street fight or something, and then that his was more full technique. I'm like, you're not
But then
wrong.
again, then
Yeah,
again, Cody's was against much higher competition, much
yeah.
higher.
I mean, like, it depends because you have like different ways of looking at it. You're right. In terms of the
Mhm.
competition, in terms of the fact that Assunção is not like a terrible fighter by any means, and no one should have slept on him. But at the same time, like, Sean O'Malley's shot was just kind of clean. I don't know. It was just like, that's the whole point for me. It was like, it's a classic knockout versus one that, like, it was full of everything that he got, and that's probably why I liked it too. But it was really hard for me to choose because I like Sean O'Malley as well as, like, his technique. So I guess I might have to go with Cody's, but like, I like both of them. They both like gave me something to get
You
excited
better go
about.
with Cody's. I would be so mad if you choose some.
Did we not talk about this? Like,
We
I
did. We did.
swear. Oh my god. Okay. I mean, okay. To be fair, I think I told. Shout outs to Jesse Clark as well. Jesse, you were my guest yesterday, or not yesterday, but the day before, talking about the aftermath of this fight night. So Cody, like, we were talking about like how I compared Cody's knockout to was like the fact that, because me and him, we really like baseball, right? So when we hear really huge, like, powerful home run, that smack out of the bat, like, that reminded me of exactly what happened with Cody. And just kind of like replay. You can never get old of, like, just replaying that moment or replaying that impact. So I do like heavy hitters, right? So, okay, fine. Okay, fine. For you, I'm going to choose Cody, but I still have love, obviously, for Sean O'Malley. For me, like, people always say, like, who's next for Cody Garbrandt? Now, I
Mhm.
know Jesse, he was talking about, like, oh, what about Marlon Morales? Like, that sounds like a really good fight. I agree with him. For some reason, I didn't think about it that much. I think that Cody, I would, fantasy-wise, I would love to see him against Aljamain Sterling. That'd be fun. They're both very aggressive guys, very fiery, super aggressive, like I said. So we'll see who makes the first move at the end of the day. I think that if Cody keeps getting challenged by really great fighters, like you said, he even said, like, there's so many great, fighters in the bantamweight division, so much
Mhm.
competition. Like, he's not sleeping on them by any means, including the one that he beat for the title, Dominic Cruz. He's not sleeping on him either. So, I mean, that'd be fun to see that rematch, actually. I don't know, I have to think about it. What do you think? Do you think the rematch? I obviously, here's the thing. I'm on Team Cody when it comes to the
Mhm.
rematch, because Cody just looks so good right now, and if he keeps with that motivation and that fire and passion and, like, just keeping focus and staying patient, because I know he's usually a very impatient fighter. That
Yeah,
I think that if it was him versus Dominic Cruz again for the rematch, I think that he would still win. Unfortunately, I don't like saying that, but I'm just trying to be unbiased. What do you think? What do you think if they give
uh,
the rematch? Because it's very business wise. A lot of people would love to see that rematch.
yeah.
Against those 2. Mm-hmm.
For the rematch, I see it going the same way. I don't really think it makes sense for Dominic Cruz to take because well, first of all, we don't even know if Cruz is gonna come back because like he has a lot
Yeah.
of injuries and he just came off a title shot loss, so he's not gonna get another title shot anytime soon. So who knows what he's gonna want to do? I really want to see him back. I really think he has the potential to be champion again if he's able to not get injured and train consistently.
Oh
But
yeah.
yeah, so to that rematch, I still see Cody taking that. I think it's just a bad style matchup for Cruz.
Oh, I agree.
But yeah, but who knows?
Yeah, I mean, like, it's funny because like for someone like me who has such a despise for Cody, but like his return, his comeback was so impressive that I try to think about like what changes that he's made to his game, because now it's kind of like everybody just woke up again like for the bantamweight division. There's
Yeah.
another person that you should consider as a threat. Obviously I'm more like cautious about it because like obviously like when we saw his career before, just very inconsistent. So like
Mhm.
obviously there's more to prove when it comes to Cody, but that was really impressive. There's 2 things that he did I think that actually bettered his game. He added more coaching. I believe he's part of a gym from New Jersey as well, so in conjunction with Team Alpha Male. So I think that really helped him, and like the fact that he was more patient and he was picking his shots. And like if you guys look at his other fights before, he's very like quite the barn burner, aggressive brawler, and he was, but at the same time he was more patient. It's like he kind of grew up in a way at 28 years old. So gotta fix that hairline though, bud. Man, that like we were both talking about it more than the actual like fight, because I think we both knew who was probably gonna win. So I think I would love to see him against Aljamain Sterling, though. I think that's a cool matchup.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not like out of the water or something like that. They actually could put them together. It makes total sense, if we
Mhm.
look at the rankings. But I think Sterling deserves obviously who the winner of that fight against Peter Yan versus Aldo, which is gonna be Peter Yan. If it's gonna be Aldo, I'll be very very surprised. Very very
And then in the
surprised.
next year we have the Juggernaut in TJ Dillashaw coming back. So who knows what he's
Oh
gonna be able to
man,
do?
why did we? I should have asked you like to say TJ's name earlier, because that's like controversial for a lot of people. I know you like him for his fight style, so I can respect that. I like Dominic Cruz for the same reason, because of his footwork. Usually, that's like it's like second to none in my opinion in that division. But bantamweight for now is like literally the hottest division. There's no
Yeah.
second. Like lightweight, yeah, okay, fine. A lot of competition there, but still a lot of people are talking about bantamweights. Especially coming back
Yeah.
from Sean O'Malley. Do you see betting on fights? Crazy as not. I have before. I haven't done that recently. I should have for like the fight night in Vegas, the first one. I was like perfect on that main card.
Tell
But
them
I
about how
guess
you got 6-1 last time.
no, I got 11-1.
11-1. Wow.
Yeah,
You
so
got
the
11-1 on all the bets.
so the
So
first fight night in Vegas, that one that was the one with Gilbert Burns. Right, so that was the one with Gilbert Burns and Tyron Woodley. And for the prelims, I only got the first fight wrong. So I believe
wow.
Chris Gutierrez won, and I thought that his opponent would have won. And so I was excited, especially like the thing that really shocked me was the whole Caitlin. I did Shook again. I can't pronounce his last name, so I'm really sorry. Versus Antonina Shevchenko. So that was like the one that was surprising. Like I was like, oh, I'm gonna go like 4-2 in the prelims. So, but I guess I had more faith in Caitlin as an overall better fighter. She just like fought her sister, who obviously is amazing, by herself, Valentina Shevchenko. But yeah, no, I fell 5-1, which is not bad. So I should have better like people should have listened to me, when they were talking about betting. And then the main card was very surprising. I thought that, Gilbert Burns, if anything, like, Tyron Woodley, being Tyron Woodley, would win that fight because we didn't know what kind of Tyron Woodley we would get. So don't take betting advice from Jonathan. Like, no, because I
She
make like
doesn't.
better ones. Like, I literally do.
She doesn't. I always get him wrong.
I
I
know,
bet
like,
$65 on Dominic Cruz to win, and he lost. So
why would
don't
you put
trust me
so
for
much
bets.
money for that? But no
I
offense, we
really
both
thought he
love
was
Dominic
gonna win.
Cruz. Me too, but like, it didn't,
He
like,
should have
it's
won.
like,
Early
yeah.
stoppage. I'm still salty.
Yeah, so we don't like. I remember every single time Keith Peterson was referencing, like, oh hell no, like it's so sad. Like I get that. Like we both love Dominic Cruz, and I think it was early, but it's funny because like Dominic Cruz just really went off
Yeah.
after that loss. So get your priorities straight. See if you want to come back. And it's tough because like I think about other sports and like other team sports, and like when you have that many injuries,
Yeah.
and like especially for fighting because it's not like there's so many games in a year that you can be benched and stuff like that for a team sport. Dominic Cruz is by himself, like fighting, and so I think like maybe one more fight if he feels like healthy, if he wins that one, like just to continue or just hang up. Like he had a really good career anyway, so I'm not like you know I'm not gonna be too sad if he leaves because I just feel like because I haven't seen him. It's like he's like the person like the long lost cousin that you haven't seen every 4 years. Like that's Dominic Cruz. That's Dominic Cruz for you. Um, Really weird though. Harry Cejudo retirement. What? Like
Yeah.
you're like at the peak of your freaking career. Are you like ducking a lot of people? Because obviously there's a lot of great competition in the
Mm.
bantamweight division, especially. Flyweight is just getting started, so no one should sleep on flyweights as well. Figueiredo was supposed to face Joseph Benavidez in the rematch, which I think was stupid. Like in terms of how they like the management told UFC like, oh yeah, no, we want the rematch. I was like, because what? You didn't make weight, like, and you were a champion. Like that's like for me, that's kind of stupid.
Yeah.
But I love Joseph Benavidez, but for sure, Figueiredo has the best knockout power in that division. In terms of the girls, there's a bunch of different fights that are happening for the girls, but for the Fight Island fight, UFC 251 in Yas Island, I wonder if they're gonna be like Yas during the entire thing. That's what I thought of when I heard about it. But a lot of the girls, the female fighters, are gonna be facing off soon during the 15th, 18th, and 25th of July. So that's exciting. There is actually a card this Saturday, but I won't be able to watch a lot of it. So I believe it was Cynthia Calvillo versus somebody else. Did you look at the card? I didn't even remember there was a card. Someone told me. I was like, that's so sad. I didn't remember all the cards, so. But it's a fight night, so you guys can check that out. Ray Borg has a fast turnaround. He's going to be on that card. That's right, Jessica Ai, the female fighter that got that beautiful kick and went down like she was on a crucifix to Valentina Shevchenko. She's fighting in the main event against Cynthia Calvillo, who, kudos to you, girl. You left Team Alpha Male, you left Justin Buckles. So happy about that. He's very, very sexist, so that's another thing.
Really?
Yeah. Because, okay, this is the tea, which a lot of my girls know already because they went and experienced the same thing from Justin Buckles. So basically, on Twitter, he was making all these kind of misogynistic comments. So then, like me, and a bunch of other people from MMA Twitter, they were harping on him, like, what do you mean? Like, you train these girls as well. So like, why are you saying that? I mean, they totally like said some stupid comments and it's like blocked and like so I was like, you know what, Justin Buckles, you know what, like, and he also started his own gym too, so I always told people like, if you're gonna join that gym, no good values. But yes, so UFC Fight Night I versus Calvillo is gonna be June 13th 2020. Is that the same night that we're doing no, it's not, that's a Saturday, right? We're doing our grappling event on June 12th, which is the Friday. So we're gonna be on here as well. We're gonna be on here, and we're gonna do the same thing as the first time, where we're watching Flow Grappling. Is that Fight to Win 143, I believe. I'm not mistaken. Yeah, that's gonna be on FlowGrappling.com. You guys can subscribe. You can pay monthly. I believe it's about $12 per month. So you can do that and watch the event. We're gonna be spending on Friday nights again here watching grappling, and I have no idea who is. I had no idea who is competing, but I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, hey Sharon, what's up? Everybody's like staying awake. It's like almost 11 in the Toronto time, and I have to work the next day. But thankfully, it's not too early. So okay, so what is the one of the last few things that I wanted to talk about, which is we talked a little bit about it in the last stream because we were waiting for something to happen in the grappling event. You're talking about like the whole salary pay, fighter pay. Like, do you think I don't know? Dana looks like he's not budging. He's like, you know what? They can leave if they want to, kind of thing. Do you think that he's just bluffing? Do you think that he has enough ammo? A lot of superstar fighters that doesn't matter if Connor like retires. Doesn't matter if Jorge Masvidal leaves the company. John Jones, I don't know what the hell is wrong with like his deal, but I can like for John Jones to like say that is kind of that would worry me if I was Dana White. Like he is
Yeah.
one of those household names that everybody knows, even if you don't actually watch MMA. Everybody knows who John Jones is. Everybody knows who Conor McGregor is. Masvidal, sorry, you're not a household name, and I really told people that in the last stream, but I don't know. I think that it's one thing to complain about it on Twitter. It's one thing to confront Dana White, but if you really want to do something about it, why not make a union? Everybody, that's a huge MMA fan. They probably have alluded to this for a while now about, fighter pay and how it should be higher. And one of my dearest friends, who was his birthday today, shout out to Jordan. I know you'll be watching later. He was talking about how one championship actually they pay their fighters more. But I said it's the currency thing is different. Like the U.S. dollar versus the different Asian currencies, not even close.
Yeah.
It's worth way more. So, but at the same time, I understand where he's coming from because like one actually tries to reward their fighters and like especially with their worth. It's hard to like talk about it. I'm like, well, like here's the thing. Like instead of just complaining about it, why don't you do something proactive? Unfortunately, it's like that, in the world. The only way you're going to get someone's attention like Dana White is if one person is like someone that he is like, I can't lose him in the organization. That's just going to change us. That's going to lose a lot of the market for sure.
Yeah, if Khabib did that, then that would be a massive hit to them.
That's right. Well, I mean, Khabib is worth paid. I don't think he's complaining in terms of like how much he's getting paid. I want to look at his net worth.
Crazy ass just commented Andrew Yang for UFC because Andrew Yang is someone who wants to help fighters get paid more. So
yeah, I like Andrew Yang. Ethan Grauber, my first football guest right there, guys. You're looking for a great DB. That's him right there. He can play also safety and nickel really well. Shout out to the New York teams, Giants, Jets, please. That's his team right there. Okay, so thank you for joining. So apparently the Khabib's net worth is 100 million, so that's why I said that he's probably not like complaining way too much about it. Fried Chicken Nisha, thank you for joining. Talking about Khabib, how he is worth $100 million. Now, I don't know, John Jones' net worth, because he was complaining too, which is kind of interesting, because I thought maybe he'd be paid more than most fighters for the decorated fighter that he is. Okay, net worth of John Jones. I'm surprised Khabib makes so much. Wow. Okay, so John Jones' net worth is $10 million.
Yeah, I imagine that.
Yeah, no, he's into all these crazy shenanigans all the time. I barely get to see him fight, and his fights are not as exciting as they were when I pretty much started watching MMA almost 10 years ago. So
I think a lot of people underestimate what a superstar Khabib is on his own. Like even like detached from the whole Conor rivalry, like Khabib alone as a superstar, he's massively popular.
Yeah, no, his fandom, like obviously besides us, extends all around the world. Everywhere I go, there's always one person in each country that knows about Khabib. So John Jones, I mean, like maybe the older generation might have known him more, but like he's not as prevalent now, and that just shows like new generation, older generation. Khabib's like what 30 or something like that. So like he's still in his prime. And I'm glad you say that because Khabib by itself, like he's just I don't know. it's like he can improve, but like obviously there's not much to improve on. Maybe like his stand-up game. Honestly, on the ground, he's spectacular. His takedown defense, amazing. He he defended a guillotine from Justin Poirier, like freaking pro. Everybody else would have freaking panicked and probably tapped, but he didn't.
Mhm.
So that's making me more confident. But we gotta wait till September. I don't know. I'm a little bit nervous, as you can see. But anyways, we have about less than 5 minutes left on the stream, and you have to tell me something after. So I'm making it like I'm making it public because like you can't back out of it now. Okay. So everybody, like I said, if you guys like our streams, please follow Jonathan right there on Instagram.
Fried Chicken Ninja just said, "Let us remember."
I like it. I like it. I love a good pun, okay? Everybody keep going with those puns. I love it. So, thank you guys for joining. And, like, if you guys have Twitter besides Instagram, you have a Twitter as well. I believe it's at AnpanWai MMA, which is AnpanMan MMA. Okay? You guys can find them there. And we will be back on Friday because we're going to do the Flow Grappling fight to win. And it's 1:43, and it starts at 7 p.m. Eastern time. Thankfully, finish work at 6. So we can definitely do that. And we're probably going to we'll talk about the card on Saturday, even though I can't really watch much of it. But we'll talk a little bit because there are some great fighters over there. And so sometimes like the cards that nobody knows about are the best cards. You never know. Never know what could happen, right?
Yeah.
So I don't think they can top the whole Cody and Sean O'Malley like knockout thing. And a lot of people were talking about how they should face each other, like rivalry wise. Yes, Sean O'Malley not ready whatsoever. And I can say that, like
I agree.
without the bias and stuff like that, because Cody's was on another level. Like if he's gonna still continue to fight the way that he does and be patient, take his shots. At the same time, he's super fast. He's probably the fastest in that division. I think so. Because Sean O'Malley's pretty fast as well. But I think Cody is the fastest, and that the speed is probably what made him win against the Sun-Sao. Because Sun-Sao, like, he's like, I don't know what to do. Like, he's just too fast for me. And you can see that. He really couldn't do anything to Cody Garbrandt. So, maybe one day, those two will fight. There's a chance that Cody could be champion. I don't think so. But it's only because I think it's past, that's always going to be in the back of my mind until he proves me otherwise. Right? So, man, we got a really good turnout for all these, the comments, the people that are viewing this stream. Thank you guys so much. And if you have nothing to do on a Friday night, you can join us. We are going to be live mostly we're going to do 7 p.m. Eastern, so that's 4 p.m. your time. You good with that on Friday?
Of course.
Okay, good. Because that was your idea. Okay, so we're going to be back here, and I have a 2-minute limit right now. So thank you guys again for joining. Please add Jonathan on Twitter if you have that, at AnpanWai MMA. And over here, and I told you, you can't get out of this. You have to tell me what it is. Okay, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it from both ends, and we will see you guys on Friday. See you guys. Bye.